welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay and today we're back playing some Jurassic World Evolution in Nublar Emergent Biopark, our modded series focusing on bringing to life a realistic vision of Jurassic Park. Now today what we're doing is we're going to be mainly working on our central high street where we're going to have all our guest facilities, so our gift shop, our fast food restaurant, our regular restaurant, our clothes shop and our bar. So those are all going to be along this high street that leads up to the Innovation Center, which is the centerpiece of our park. I did a lot of interesting path work for this build. In fact, I revised it a lot. So you're going to see a few different versions of this until the live play at the end of the video, where you're going to see the final and more proper version of the build, where everything's kind of a bit more final. I still might change in the future because I'm not super happy with it, but as of now that is the final version. As you can see on screen, I wanted to get the kind of the feel of having these really big open plazas so that you get a really good feel of space when you're there. You don't feel too cramped, so that you do get the idea that, oh, this is a huge park and there's loads and loads of space to walk around, and yeah, just went for that. And we also have a habitat today, our second habitat of the park. And what we're going to be doing for that is we're going to be introducing our first carnivores, and those being a pack of Metriacanthosaurus. Now, Metriacanthosaurus in the game, in the base game, is a great dinosaur. I love using it. It has amazing skins, but the mod just completely elevates the creature by bringing to life a very more, a significantly more accurate body plan for the animal. This mod was created by the user Black Frog on the Nexus, and it is in the form of a paleontological selection, so to speak. So if you go and download the mod, you have the option between downloading the accurate Metriacanthosaurus, or you get the choice of using the Metriacanthosaurus model as a base to then introduce new dinosaurs, namely the young Tyrannosaurus and the Concavenator. So if you want any of those two other ones, that is also an option. But I went for the Metriacanthosaurus just because I personally like the dinosaur as a whole, and I think it looks really cool, especially now with this new mod, and I'll go into it a bit into the whole thing in a bit more detail when we go into the live play and I can show you the dinosaurs up close. But suffice to say, they look amazing with this new mod. It looks so much more accurate to what a real Metriacanthosaurus would have probably been like, though we can't obviously say for sure given its relatively fragmentary nature. But as a theropod, it does look really, really good. Now, as you can see, this is most of what we're doing today is path work and kind of just finagling this to make it look somewhat decent. It does look a little bit chaotic, and that's why I keep saying I might change it, because for the life of me, I can't seem to come up with a general theme to go forward with the path design. But as for now, I'm happy enough with it as is. One more thing we are going to introduce in this episode is the monorail. So the monorail will eventually be the main form of transportation across the park, and there are going to be certain areas which you can't actually access without going onto the monorail. That's because I do want there to be, like I said, a vehicle tour. And because the vehicle tour works in circuits, if I were to have it in a big circle going through all the different exhibits and habitats, it would be somewhat difficult to work past around that. And so having a monorail allows us to get guests from one part of the park to another without them having to walk through, like a million miles of path, or, across areas where they can't actually be passed. So that's that. Anyways, the next few habitats are going to be much larger, and I think I'm going to start focusing on some of the larger herbivores, get some really big kind of open plan makes me sound like an architect, but I mean like some really open savanna type habitats. I think that would be really nice. Anyways, the cinematics for this part of the video are coming up, so I'll leave you to that, and I will return shortly just after those, and then we'll have a live play after that. So yeah, see you in a second. Okay, we're back. So this part of the video is just focused on me building up the habitat itself for the Metriacanthosaurus and introducing the monorail. So the Metriacanthosaurus habitat, relatively basic. It is built on a hill, so it does have a downward slope to it, which in terms of zoo design isn't the best, but in terms of having it look quite natural, I think it works pretty well. Gives the Metriacanthosaurus some privacy if they want. There's going to be 3 of them in this habitat, and you'll see them emerge from the hatcheries right after this part of the video. And like I said before, they look so beautiful. Really some of my favorite base skins in the base game itself without even using mods, but now with the modded model, really elevates the animal as a whole, and they look so good. Just a couple quick notes on the channel as a whole. I have taken a bit of a break from Planet Zoo because I am a little bit creatively drained at the moment. I will get back into it pretty soon because I do have some ideas, but right now I'm a little bit burnt out from it, so I'm going to take a little bit of a breather, and I'm going to kind of wait and see as well because it is late May now, going to come into April soon, so I'm assuming we might get a DLC of some sort at some point. Obviously I have no idea whether we will, but that's kind of just what people have been speculating, so I'm thinking, yeah, it's a good chance, so you might see that. Anyways, that's all I have to say for today's video. You'll see me again in a second in the live play section. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this content, please do subscribe. We'll have more episodes coming up soon. And yeah, take care and I'll see you in a second. Bye! Alright everyone, here we are in the live play section of the video today. What I'm going to do is just show you around all the things we've built, and quite a few of it's actually changed since the cinematics actually. So if you look at this area, I've kind of neatened things up a little bit. Now we've got this little design in the middle. I'm not super happy with how this whole area has turned out, and I might revisit it in the future. I think it looks okay, but I do think it could be better. I like a few things, like I love this curve here that goes kind of right in front of the monorail and curves around the whole of the innovation center. I think that looks really nice. And of course we have our different shops here. We've got the fast food, we have the gift shop, the clothes shop, the restaurant, and the bar. Later on, of course, we'll build more of those in different areas. I imagine we'll have a second guest hub somewhere back here, just to tie things together a bit more in that area so that guests don't have to come all the way back here to get some food or things like that. And of course here we have our second exhibit over here right next to the Innovation Center, so I imagine this is one you could view from inside the building itself as well as from the viewing gallery over here. Again, very similar idea to the first habitat, nothing too crazy. Big open area in the front, and the back is very much covered by foliage, so you can't quite see the fence. And let's just hop into the viewing gallery here and have a look at our dinosaurs, and there they are, our pack of Metriacanthosaurus. We have 3 of them. I chose 2 tiger patterned Metriacanthosaurus, which is this beautiful green, and 1 rainforest pattern, which is just off to the right that we can't quite see. Now the Metriacanthosaurus probably has some of the best skins in the base game, and this is one of them, but I always thought the model itself was it looked a bit weird. It stood in this weird kangaroo kind of pose where its head was really tilted upwards, and I think this mod, where it changes the model to be more accurate, makes it look so much better, and it just suits the skins perfectly now. Now I think the original base game skins work really well with these new models, and I'm really happy about that. And of course now you can see our rainforest patterned Metriacanthosaurus up front as well. And you can see now they've got these more distinct crests on the head, and like a more more horizontal body positioning. So I think that just works tremendously better. They just look so much better, and they look so at home in their little habitat. So I'm really glad with how this turned out, and let's just get a bit more up close with one of them. Let's have a look at this one. This is our alpha. and yeah, the head crest look a lot better now with this mod. Unfortunately, the hands are still a little bit. Actually, they're pretty okay. I don't know if the mod changed them, but as you can see, the hands do curl in a way that probably wouldn't be anatomical. I think that's something they can't really change that well. I think some mods have, but it compromises the animation slightly. And that's not something like I blame the mod for or anything. It's just a limitation with the model and the rig. So they've really done a good job. Otherwise, they've increased the length of the tail and sorted out the pose, and overall this looks like an amazing dinosaur. Obviously, I can't say for sure that it's accurate just because we don't actually have that much in terms of Metriacanthosaurus fossils. We don't really have very much in terms of their remains. But as far as general theropod anatomy goes, this is pretty good. It looks really nice. And like I said before, the skins complement them perfectly. I love this shot right here, just him chilling in his environment, scouting it out. It's just beautiful. So you'll see more of them in the cinematics later. Anyways, that's that for their habitat. Just looking at the environment itself, I'm sticking with using these redwoods quite sparsely, but I will use more of the redwoods here at the start as opposed to when we get out here towards the lake and the big open spaces. This entire area, I think I'm going to build a big sort of savanna themed habitat, so we're not going to have very many trees. It's going to be a lot of open grassland, and I think that will really suit our big herbivores and some of our larger carnivores as well as we get further into this park build. Anyways, that's kind of it for today. I will leave you all with some cinematics, and I will see you all in the next one. So be sure to leave a comment down below, let me know what you want to see in this series, let me know what you think of today's episode. I hope you're all doing really well, take care, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye!